got that from.
It's so high right here.
Yeah. On the train. Going to Ennis.
I think of the week. You know, when I looked ahead.
Yeah.
You could just put in Weather Channel for Ireland. That's what I did. First, I just put in weather, but then it showed one of the choices was the Weather Channel.
And did the card arrive? Oh, yes. I bought her a card.
Get those heifers.
Very Irish. You want a piece of gum?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's for todo.
You were Sarah. More important than me. More important than Sarah. And you're back. No. That Allison.
Horsey. Horse. Horses.
Katie has a friend she used to talk about going to Ireland with, but they never seem to do it. Katie needs somebody to do that. You know, she doesn't initiate things.
Nice parade.
Even to go visit you guys, you know, we've said to her, because she wants to go out. We're like, just go out and have a great time. But she kind of just doesn't do things on her own.
Really?
Like Caitlyn said, considering that she's lived alone her whole life, she's not very independent, you know? Like she likes somebody to do stuff with. We call it like better.
Well, it was great. The parade was strong. That Dublin bridge, I'm nice and great about it because no law at home. Down Air Square, start down the main street, you're back John Ireland. And the should go for the should stay up on the same.
They got no doing the wind and the rain and the environment.
That's not saying do a big river horse. Never miss a race around Dublin. Go as far as her. Go as far as Dundalk. Never miss a meeting. I lose all the time. Last year I was there for 3 days.
Why have you never used that before?
But I have other things.
You want me to put your bag over here in front of mine? You're okay?
Thanks. Where do they
Near
live?
Albany. And Charlie and Jacob played guitar a bunch. And actually Jacob, because Jacob had his guitar and mandolin with him. So then Charlie played guitar and he played mandolin.
Musical fest, huh?
Yeah.
And then he had to ride
A couple times. I can't remember. I think we've visited a couple times, but at least the first time we went. You know, he does music with Jacob, but he taught Dylan how to play chess, so now he's into doing the chess with Dylan. And then he has ping pong, so he played ping pong with Ryan. Took them all in the backyard for wiffle ball. So like everybody gets to do the things they wanted to do.
Charlie's good with playing with the kids.
So I saw one of the people all the times I back.
No, it's some kind of soccer player. They're gonna make a Division I soccer team. And he's
Where's he
playing
play?
a lot.
Syracuse?
Yeah. Even as a freshman, he played like, gosh, probably half a game. Probably got like whatever many minutes is half a game.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just money.
He's the nicest kid. He's so nice. Yeah, they stopped after Cape Cod last year. They were all out at the Cape, and they came like they left on I think they leave on a Sunday or a Saturday, and we're just getting there. So they came, Mabel and Charlie and Noah. Maybe just Mabel, Charlie, and Noah came.
Way. It's you want oh, Jesus. And she's really not
I think this is a study joke, and they where I am
and someone like
Yeah, I got to give a shot at him.
no, tomorrow night. Yeah, I am. They're all going there, so the nanny babysitter.
You told me that.
But he actually did get one, and he's had it in the driveway and was working on it.
I wonder what kind of boat you get for that.
I don't know, but I guess that you can't really get in the canal system until like later May maybe. But I think he wants to do that. I don't know if the house is for sale or if
He's selling his house?
yeah, I think he wants to sell the house.
Then where's he? Getting close to Ennis. gonna say I knew they lived together, and I think that's how. Was it? Did Aunt Kate work at GE or something, or did Aunt Emmy work at?
Yeah, Aunt Kate was a chemist.
Yeah, she worked at
So
GE.
was, our grandfather was a chemist, but I'm pretty sure Aunt Kate was also.
Yeah. Pretty high job for a lady back then.
Yeah. Well, she was a doctor. I'm not sure she's a doctor in chemistry. But she was a doctor.
I've got a picture of our grandfather. Did you ever see that picture of on the back of a magazine at GE? Ab. It was like the back of Life magazine. Well, I guess it was. It was an ad that GE did, and it was in like 5 million different publications, like viewership. And it was the back cover of a lot of magazines. And it was him like on some instrument, like some chemist thing, and he's down there with his glasses looking through this little tube.
It's Aunt Peg. Aunt Peg that went to college at St. Rose. And it's Aunt Peg is the one that used to get in trouble for roller skating by the nuns, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Aunt Peg later went to medical school at University of New York City.
New York University?
Yeah.
Why you?
She practiced internal medicine, so she wasn't actually.
One of them was. There was a lady that was at GE in like a high role chemist or. Ennis.
Okay, I'll be right there. Right there.
Yeah, those young guys that I met, they know somebody from the O'Loonies for the surfing there. They go out there and surf too.
That would be the next generation, not ours even.
Yeah.
When we go out there, we might spot some surfers. You might see everybody's there.
So seeing the actual cliffs, we're just going to go to the visitor center and you walk down and take a look around for a little bit, right? It's not going to be a real long.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it can be quite.
That's why people come to the island. That's the only reason. When you come to Ireland, you go back to the States now and you say we were in Ireland, and anyone that's been to Ireland will say, "Oh, jeez, did you do the cliffs?"
Yeah.
It takes about an hour.
Oh, about an hour.
If you want to do it in half an hour, that's fine. But it's a tradition. You walk out, you take a look, you take some pictures, and you walk back again.
Yeah.
It is a walk.
Oh, it is a good walk.
Oh yeah.
And you can go in that room that's like built down into the
mountain. Yes. Yes. In the good old days, they used to pay us to bring people. Now we have to pay to go in. So it's €6 a head to get in.
Oh, it does cost.
And you can't get in and just look, because there are wardens that chase after you and say, "Where's your ticket?" Because this is an investment of millions of euro by the government.
Yeah.
So before they had a per car charge, they used to cram a load of people in the car.
Yeah.
So now it's a per person charge.
But it's worth going down in that room,
yeah.
right?
It's a UNESCO. It's up, and you look down. You don't go down into anything. You walk up,
Go up,
and then walk back down the hill again. You'll see. You can decide if you want to do it or not. But it's worth it. It's one of those been there, done that, got to do it sort of places. Where are you guys from? New York, did you say?
Well, we grew up in upstate New York. He's in California now, and I'm in Pennsylvania.
Great Irish state of Penn Island, and that's why we found his gravestone in Omagh, outside Omagh in County Tyrone. We're now entering the village of Ennis Diamond. Ennis as in river, the Tymon. I don't know what that means, but most words here have got some sort of a meaning when you dissect them. This is what we call the gateway to the Burren, and what you're seeing on the top of the hill is an example of a Spanish church. Spanish as in the name of the church, not necessarily built by the Spanish, but they brought a design with them that was very sturdy when Catholics were being persecuted, easy to build, strong to stand up. Piece of wood across from the two eaves with thatched down on either side, easy to replace when people like Cromwell came along to persecute the Catholics. So this is Ennis Diamond. If you were looking on the maps, you would see this is the main road. This is the main highway. It is literally. This is a normal main highway, not like the roads that you may have seen coming out of Shannon or Dublin. Those motorways do leave a little bit to be desired. On my left hand side there is a preserved building, and people have died there. Car accidents. But they're not allowed to knock it down. Look over there quickly to the right there, you see the falls. This is a Victorian feat of engineering built in the Victorian era. The Victorians would be classified as the ones that invented tourism, Queen Victoria. But they were also into all sorts of engineering feats, and they actually created electricity by using the water.
Yeah.
And in the modern era, that's being adapted to create electricity again for the town of Ennis Diamond. Over on my right hand side there is the Falls Hotel, a great wedding venue with an old house at the front. You see the old house at the front? And it's made famous by the fact that when they were filming Father Ted, the whole crew stayed in the Falls Hotel. Have you heard of Father Ted? Sorry, I have to make a call now. My radio's not powerful enough.
So this is a higher priced real estate place?
Yes. Well, Michael, answer your phone.
Hello.
Michael, are you on your own there, are you?
Sorry?
Are you on your own? No one's listening to you?
Yeah.
Somebody is listening to you.
No.
Okay, all right. No, I'm out of town, so I have to ring you, okay? Will you go out to the Inn at Dromoland or the Clare Inn?
Yeah.
And get Dylan, he's one of the managers from Yolo's Bar.
Alright.
And go out and go in and ask for Dylan. You might know him. Oh, you know Derek Gleeson?
Yeah.
Well, Dylan is Derek's right-hand man.
Alright.
And he's at the Inn at Dromoland, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
a staff price is €15.
15. Perfect.
All right. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Now,
So this
O'Looney's.
is one of their places.
Under construction. This is the O'Looney's.
Yeah. That's the one I saw online. Oh, I see up there, yeah. And then Greens is what they said, but that's closed too. They have that, and that's not. Oh, that's open.
But sure there's only kids working in there. I'm going to actually drive down a little bit because we may see O'Looney's down here. But what I the making damage, look. Have you noticed that there's all the building that's going on? Been destroyed. Look, one of the most famous golf courses in the world.
So that's why I had that.
Okay, Roach is a cork name traditionally, but it's going back in history, it's a Norman name.
That's some crazy golf in my opinion.
When you tee off, you need a caddy to tell you where the hole is, because you can't see it. On 3 holes here at least. And this is the one, as I said, favoured by Phil Mickelson. Oliver Cromwell paid his soldiers by giving them land, and the officers got a castle. So in North Mayo, where he attacked to Hell or to Connaught, he didn't like it, he didn't get really to the west. And some of the soldiers decided to stay, they planted their seed, and the name Hughes comes from a Cromwellian soldier going back generations. And my mother's maiden name is Hughes.
Did he
But-
H-U-G-H-E-S?
H-U-G-H-E-S.
Yes, okay.
So, but God help you if you remind her that her great-great-great-great-grandfather and I have a job trying to get the discount.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's other girls there, oh, hello, Tony. Oh, you're not Tony. I say, no, I'm better looking than Tony. Oh, jeez, you're recording that. Oh, shit. Don't play back that.
I won't play that on
Tony.
the internet, no.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I have to be careful now what I'm saying.
All these stones.
Now, if you are interested, you can go down those little steps there and have a look through that archway, come back and tell me what you see. And this is St. Bridget's Well, the patron saint of farmers.
How old is that stuff? Wow.
That means every county has a patron saint. Oh my god. Wow. This is interesting, huh?
Monica was.
I'll run through this straight away. I'll call you back in a minute, okay?
So pretty out there, isn't it? The ladies are like pretty hurt.
We won't come back.
Grab slippers in here. even see it from over there. It was hidden. And that thing down there, that big, that we didn't see that before. That's a different one.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Wow, all within 2 seconds you can't see the top.
I know. It really
I was looking
got
at that building. Now it's gone.
Can't
Oh, I
really
bet you this is going in.
I foresaw it but tiner waters wide would wean my heart away.
This is a cute little street and houses. Look at this view these houses have. Oh. This is expensive land here, huh?
This is exposed. We're making it into a store. It all looks well and good. Look at the way that's camera set. That's an old house.
Oh yeah.
That's a fixer-upper. Somebody started to fix that up. It's damaged by the storm. I'll tell you about Paul Hill in a second. Now you're seeing stone walls. Look.
Yeah.
Or they come and they want to find out more.
No, it's okay. We can do it.
Yeah.
But with a bit of forewarning, I could have done a little bit of research for you.
Yeah.
And gone straight to a place. Coming up on my left-hand side, a nice little fixer-upper. God rest his soul, that's the home of Michael Russell. Michael Russell was a famous tin whistle player and Shanachie, in other words, a storyteller. We go past that, but we're not going down that way. We should have stopped a bit further back. Never mind. We'll just put that down a second, I can't see. Now, I've lost my... It's called Willie Daly's, or Daly's.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Willie Daly's home, and the pub is open. And that's where, as I've mentioned before, we wear different hats. We don't just stick to one job because we'll be poor, we'll starve. So we need to do other things as well. And he's the same. He has a bar, he has a bit of land, he's a few horses, and he's Ireland's official matchmaker. So he's been on the television and all that. We went down there earlier on. We've been around in a big circle now, and we're heading back now towards Ennis.
Now some of these can be proud.
That's the team. It wasn't the team. It was supporters. They all had these different shirts on, and they were drinking heavily, so it wasn't the team.
Yeah.
They were too small to be the
It
team.
wasn't the team.
But as soon as people started taking pictures, they started hooping and hollering even more, and it was fantastic. And the poor man that was driving the open top bus, he's supposed to stop and pick up more people, and then drop off more. I was like, fuck this, and he just kept going, because there was another open top bus coming within 15 minutes, and it was just fantastic.
Next time they do that, I might come to that. Next time Notre Dame, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they've done it twice now, right?
They have, yeah.
This is the way the guy came today, isn't it? Did he come up to this
I
circle?
think so.
Coming back. bank holiday week just means Monday there's no bank open.
Yeah, but it's also like it's like our Memorial Day or something like that. Like there's a 3-day weekend. Like everything.
Basically a 3-day week.
Yeah. Like most people have off.
And they go on their holiday.
What is that? You know?
God, it looks like an old workhouse almost, but I hope it's a church. And that's 59.
That's a nice one. That's like a.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
We gotta find the boosters. You have to do it too.
So funny.
Johnny, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there.
Out.
No.
Okay.
The ball goes away then.
Yeah, really. Did he tell you how got a guy in
Wow, do you think they went in the water with this thing? Does that look very safe? It's like a canoe, huh? Look, it has like a coating on it. Oh, that sounds a little familiar. This must have been the head caretaker. This house is pretty nice right here.
Yeah, some of them are much more upscale than others.
We're off to see Bunready. Did Kristan tell you there's like a bus that comes right to our hotel for €5? Took us right down here and right back. They run like every hour.
Until what time?
Like midnight. They go from Limerick to Ennis and all these certain stops along the way. And Bunready's one of them. So we're thinking we might have to take that to Limerick tomorrow to meet you guys. Yeah. Uh-oh, where's he going? Oh, he's gonna go around? Yeah, the bridge. I see you.
One time I had wine, so I didn't even drink that much, but I think I hadn't eaten that much, and the next day I had that one. And I literally because I thought after the goes to bed, I might go up and just wait in the lobby for them to get back. But I went to bed late again last night. I was sleeping. It's really weird. And I was up till 12:30 the night before. All last night I was just watching TV. But I feel tired tonight. I feel like I'm not going to stay in bed.
Nice pub crawl.
The pub crawl. Why don't they just, they can just come crawl to our pub in our hotel. It's actually a neat looking pub.
Yeah, it is.
She's the sun.
That guy's got a good view up there, look at him. Could be.
Where'd you get accept this?
Everyone's safe. Get away from the people in the break. What? Can you see all right? There's some marching bands coming up.
There's a good picture now with the guard over at the sign there. Huh? Great. Guard. You get it, yeah. When they talking this way?
What is it?
No, they can get it. No.
Oh, here comes the band.
know. Is that your boogie?
Baby's here.
Sorry. Oh, I love it. You guys come see this. You gotta see this part. But we, I guess yesterday we should have done yesterday's parade.
What was yesterday's
We
parade?
did all the American marching bands.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Here, and then they all went to Dublin.
I was going to say, we saw a lot of them in Dublin. Like, didn't see them playing, but saw them arriving. When we were arriving, they had, you know, their jackets on.
Where did you guys have? Did you guys
In
meet
Dublin.
together? In like New
We
York?
both got, no, we didn't. We had, I went to out of Philly, and he went, his transfer from California to JFK. We never thought about checking it. We were different airlines, so we couldn't have really like gone together. Very good. But it was funny, both of us got delays the night of our flight for quite a bit. We were supposed to get in at like maybe at least 2 hours apart in the morning. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Johnny. Come here.
Come on, Johnny.
Let go. Let go.
I know.
Maybe we could get someone to do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have Ken take the next one because I think if he's taller, he'll get more of the castle.
Oh, you attach it there and then you do the...
And we should just send it out so everybody doesn't...
Maybe we kind of have some men.
Caitlyn will send it to me and I'll send it out. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Yes, I want him in the picture. Yeah, Mateo in the middle. Awesome.
Say cheese balls.
Cheese balls. Shamrocks. All right. We're going to do the water walk instead of going on the...
I'm from America, especially, you know, I was telling everybody from the west side of the state.
You don't see old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Oldest buildings. Yeah, oldest buildings like 1890.
I know, and they're wood.
Like even where we're from in upstate New York, you see stuff from 1700s.
Oh, I know. We had so much fun visiting your parents up there in Boston Spa.
Yeah, that's a cute little town.
It really is.
It's kind of
And
quiet.
we went to Saratoga.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you go to Saratoga? That's
yeah,
nice.
We did the spas.
That's gotten so much bigger though. Like you used to
Has it?
drive down that Broadway, that main streets, and now they have all these big, tall hotels. They never had any of that.
Wow, where Caitlyn had our wedding on that.
our train from Dublin that first day, the little lady went around with snacking, and the girl that sat across from us got salt and vinegar chips, and ever since then I wanted them, and I couldn't, and then I saw them in that little shop. I was like, I gotta get those.
Boys, pass it back down. Mom,
I don't think there's gonna be any left.
Mom.
Look at these murals, y'all.
Mommy. The boys in the boys.
Yeah.
Come here, look there. Wow. Mom, can you grab that fudge?
Whose fudge is it?
It's theirs. We're gonna split it between.
But he's
Just for all the kids. Just for the kids.
Give it to him. Give it to him. We're gonna
I was gonna say it's Uncle Ian's.
No, you're not. You're gonna tell him. Did you grow up? Split it 3 ways. What a beautiful church. You can keep the packets so you can buy it.
What is this?
Mom, this is what it looks like here.
Okay, she wants me to buy some.
And also by caramel.
Chocolate fudge.
And caramel.
I bought that same brand, but I bought a bar of Jameson's chocolate truffle. Yeah, but it was mixed with chocolate. Like it wasn't liquidy. But it's the best flavor. Really dark chocolate.
Now, my friends, that's King John's Castle on the opposite side of the River Shannon.
Nice.
King John's Castle was built in the year 12. by King John, the Lord of Ireland. He arrived about 20 years previously. The castle's actually on an island. The river Shannon divides, it flows around in a semicircle and comes out again here. So it's actually on an island with obvious defensive features. The little bit to the left of the bridge is a toll house, and that was once a toll bridge. There's nothing new under the sun, my friends. You have to pay to cross the bridge. That's also the site where the Vikings at Second 21st came to Limerick in the year 922 for the same reason, because monasteries from this point. Divides the country very neatly, not quite in half. About 1/3 of Ireland is west of the Shannon and about 2/3 is east of the Shannon. By and large, the better agricultural land is on the east side and the poorer land is on the west side. Are you familiar with Angela's Ashes, I wonder?
Oh, yes.
Yes, that was set here in Limerick, written by Frank McCork. A very dark book. It's of his childhood growing up here in Limerick in desperate poverty. And a little bit
A little bit on that.
Mommy?
One more night at the castle.
Where was the best time coming in? When are we going to have lunch?
An educational trip.
Oh yeah, we have already had lunch.
Maybe they could make up for it by going to school Saturdays and Sundays in the future for a couple of weeks. Yeah?
I'm sure they'd agree to that.
That sounds like a good idea.
Not like
Haven't missed any other days of school because I haven't been sick.
Okay.
I haven't.
Interested. You'll notice the place names here in Ireland all have two names, both the English and the Irish version. In 1840, the government at the time, of course we were under British rule at the time, sent over a group of people here to map Ireland. It's at a time when the trains were starting, people were moving around, they wanted to know where places were. But they only named them phonetically. They asked people what was the name of this place, and that's what they wrote on their map. So they were English-speaking people with English accents trying to communicate with Irish-speaking people with Irish accents. So they just wrote phonetically what they heard onto the map. So it's not a translation of the Irish names. The old Irish names were very good. They described the area. For example, we're just approaching Bunratty Castle, which you're familiar with. Now, Bun in the Irish language describes the end of a river, the bun of a river, and the river in question is the Ratty, R-A-T-T-Y. So you see the Irish name is Bunratty. So in Irish it's Cashlawn Bunratty, the castle at the end of the River Ratty. So it describes the area. But in English, it's just a nonsense selection of letters. Ennis, for example, E-N-N-I-S. The Irish for Ennis is Inish, I-N-N-I-S. And Inish describes an island, because the original Ennis was built on an island formed by the River Fergus. Irish is still on the curriculum in all the schools. It's taught in all of the schools. It's an official language in the country. And as you know, Ireland is a member of the EU, the European Union, which is basically the United States of Europe, 28 countries. And all of the communications is translated into all the relevant languages, Irish being one of them. We also have some Irish-speaking areas in Ireland, known as Gaeltacht. Gaeltacht simply means speak Irish, Gaeltacht. If you look at or visualise a map of Ireland, if you imagine straight lines coming from Dublin, the Gaeltacht areas are in the furthest reaches of those lines. They're in parts of the country where the English language never penetrated to. We have an Irish-speaking radio station and a television station. There's only a small percentage of people in the rest of the country, not counting the Gaeltacht areas where Irish is the vernacular. But in the rest of the country, there's only a small percentage of people who speak Irish as their everyday language at home. But yes, in the Gaeltacht areas, by definition, Irish is a spoken language.
And which counties are they?
There's a Gaeltacht area in Galway, just west of Galway City, known as Connemara. In the north-west of the country, Donegal. Down in the south, Kerry and Cork. And as I say, the furthest reaches from Dublin City. People visiting Ireland usually refer to the language as Gaelic, but in Ireland we always refer to it simply as Irish. Gaelic is actually a collective term of a number of languages, for a number of languages. But the Irish language is unique to Ireland.
I don't know anything about the Scottish language. I really don't know anything about it. Doing the Highlands, but just where I live. I was married there. What's 2:30?
turned off the motorway now. The motorway has been in existence about 10 years. We're on the roads, which are now normally referred to as the old road, the original road between Limerick and Galway. This is the town of Newmarket on Fergus. Newmarket on Fergus has connections with Dromoland. It was the landlord town. All these landlord towns have their own features. Once you see one or two, you'll recognise them all. They are not straight lines. There's usually some form of shape and make to them. The more important people lived in the centre of town. The less important people lived on the roads out of the town. Like for example, on our right hand side there is some of the old original cottages. They would have been thatched. They would have been for the less important owners. The family members, vague relations, general hangers-on, etc. lived in the more important houses in the centre of town. Like for example, on the right hand side here there's the pub, the big square building. And now on front of the bus there is the Hunter's Lodge, another big impressive house in its day. So they were where the more important people lived. The people in the estates, like for example Dromoland, were almost completely self-contained. They had their own farms, their own stables, vegetable gardens, kitchen gardens, etc. And they grew all their own produce. They brought in tutors from England to teach the children. And they were completely self-contained. There was no real reason for them to go outside of the walls at all. The landlord in question in Dromoland was Lord Inchiquin. Lord Inchiquin had a great interest in all things equine, all things to do with horses. He travelled back and forward extensively between here and Newmarket in England. And that's why he called his town here Newmarket. And because it's on the River Fergus, to differentiate it, he called it Newmarket on Fergus. On our right now is the start of the lands of Dromoland. Originally it was 10,000 acres, it was huge. These walls are always a feature of these estates. Every estate has a big wall all the way around. And Dromoland is no exception. About the same time as the castle, 1820s. On our right hand side there is one of what would have been the farm entrances, and the little gate lodge there on the right. The cottage on the right hand side. Lord Inchiquin also built his folly up on top of the hill that's on our left hand side. Again, these were quite popular, quite common at the time. They were a fashion. And he served no actual purpose, hence the name folly. But the purpose in the landlord's mind was to put his stamp on the land. So as you could look over here from the top of that folly, you can see right across the River Shannon into County Limerick and County Kerry. So obviously you can look the other way and you can see Lord Inchiquin's folly. That's the Shannon estuary on our left, that's Kerry on the far side, and Limerick.
But Shaggy said, came over and opened the door. Can you turn that light down? Don't want it. But then they put it on.
Do you want to go to Dromoland first or into the Dromoland?
Whichever's that way. Go to Dromoland first.
Oh yeah, remember that mystery in the castle?
Just get a peep of it from here, yeah, that's what.
Remember that mystery
There's the folly part.
Wow.
Where we just saw that.
It is, yeah. They're quite common.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll give myself a folly.
You should.
I'll be right next to my house because they have no left. What's a folly? That thing up there on the hill.
It's a building of no purpose whatsoever.
They just want to
No particular purpose.
their stamp on the land that this is our land. Yeah.
There is a rumour that Lord Inchiquin built it as a memorial to one of his favourite horses. But it's not a historical fact. But there's a rumour that the horse is buried. It's actually true, so I don't believe that's a fact. It's a nice story.
Yeah, I love this story. Just tell them.
Just went down to Ireland. Got video on that too, Chris? That's crazy.
Tomorrow we're hoping for good weather, John.
Yes, yes. I'd say they're much the same as today.
That'd be perfect.
We're gonna miss you guys tomorrow.
I know, we're gonna have to get. We've got a 10:30 flight or something, so.
Oh my goodness. Probably won't miss you. Might be long.
Very exactly. That's a bit of, I mean, just everything seems to have been like clockwork. It's been great.
You know what?
I'm sure a lot of effort went into it, but we made it look like effortless.
So my plan in life is you plan and
Yeah.
then you let go.
Right.
You know, because if it doesn't go exactly, you know, nothing you can do about it. So even when we got married, my dress was dessert. So my dress was 12 inches too long. So I just threw it all the way around it. You can't catch it right here.
Takes over your life.
I'm enjoying it.
New market on the furnace, little bird.
It's one of the 50th things.
And it's close to where your uncle lives. We live north. Well, close. The concept of distance is different. So your uncle lives in California, right? And I live in Oregon, which is the next like from Scotland to okay? But the United States is so big that the uncle Ian's house to my house drive is 24 hours. One whole day. That's how big. That's how big the United States
It's a nice golf club, right?
Yep.
That's 50
Not as nice as La Hinch.
It's like this.
You know,
But
Oregon,
no
they have
castles.
beaches and they have mountains.
In Oregon, we have lots of like mountains, like in Scotland. We've got beaches. We don't have any castles, not one castle.
Did you know that all that water is all the way up here?
Is it? You get a lot of wet.
All this land?
It's one of those operating ones.
Now, back into the ball, as he's stating the obvious. Could I ask you to take your personal belongings with you when you get off the bus, please? There's a possibility it could be used between now and 6.
Be my lifelong short. I'll never forget her. We may have
Ready to dry anyway.
Yeah, that's what
I wonder if it is.
Of course, the two off. I don't know. What could happen?
This is our hotel we just checked into in Galway. And this is going to run right out to the bay right here. We'll take a look in a little bit when we go head out. The water's really rushing. You can hear it. Our hotel room right there somewhere. Look at this old building. This water is just raging out to the ocean. We've had some big storms lately, flooding. Galway. That one's seen better days. Thought it said Kristan, but I think it says Tristan. Some ravaged old boats. So I was going to look out to Galway Bay.
Excuse me. No problem.
Brothers' names, and that was pretty much it. I don't even know if he knew his grandparents. Well, he must know his grandparents' names.
Yeah.
On that side, but not like past that.
Music Thursday to Sunday.
The weekend.
Once it comes into the more summer months, probably start
More.
next week.
Yeah. Get away from the edge, Chris.
at the marble or whatever stone those are made out of.
Yeah, I gotta come in the day and do this.
I saw her first and knew that our dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger, yet I passed along the enchanted way. And I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day.
Because it's a Catholic church.
All the fresh days?
Yeah.
Yeah, their Mother's Day is in a couple weeks here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they don't. They have their march
All seem to be heading
that we work together to get a performance in a night to be remembered.
Elsewhere, the Liverpool Echo are reporting that Everton will reward James McCarthy with a new contract at the end of the season. The paper are also
Some delays on the road due to traffic down to one lane, I think, for Scotty Road. Nothing else to talk about at the moment. It's busy North Wall Quay, or North Quays I should say, particularly around Bachelor's Walk. North Wall Quay is fine. M50 moving well. It's actually very nice, very mild in Dublin this afternoon. Good bright sunny spells and temperatures around 12 to 14. It's just those fresh, strong southerly winds making you feel a little cooler, but certainly inland it's a lot warmer. And it's going to be dry for much of the night. Now there is a little bit of rain going to head our way towards tomorrow, but let's enjoy the sunshine at the moment in Portmarnock. We've got 12 plus degrees. We are ready to go with another great music suite. It is Wednesday, smack bang in the middle of the week, the 19th of March. Let's kick off Colby Calais. This is called Falling for You.
From the balcony. There's the top of the spire. Dublin again.
Oh, I hope that's my password.
Can't remember?
Well.
I have a laptop bag.
We're just gonna like go out. Amy, you did.
Jennifer, why are you chasing the pigeon?
You have to go to Guinness. How about we go out after dinner?